Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Please be seated. The second meditation, or the main meditation. Now, the theme again is to encounter the cross of Jesus Christ and learn lessons from His cross. So, in this second meditation, or the main meditation, we take the lessons from those who encountered Christ's cross, from those who were there. And so, I have 5 or 6 people, groups, or persons, 6 points. These are the ones who encountered Christ's cross. And in reflection, let us imagine that we are already there, that we are also there. We see people who encountered Him. Let us be one of them. Now, let us learn also from them. And so the first lesson we can learn from is, let us take this lesson from the people who gave the cross to Jesus Christ. Pilate, the elders, who else? The Pharisees, who else? The scribes, the crowd, the soldiers. Imagine what happened. People knew, even Pilate knew, this man is innocent. But he just washed his hands. And even if he washed his hands, he knew that he has power over the life of Jesus to say no crucifixion or say yes, there is crucifixion. Practically, he will be. And that is why in our creed, it is mentioned the name Pontius Pilate. What is the lesson now for us? Many times we are Pilate. Many times, we are the mob, the crowd. Many times, we are the scribes, the high priest, etc. When we hurt somebody, when we willfully think of something bad that we do for others or against others. In our time and context, it is very easy to malign people. Why? Because especially when there is money involved. Many times we plot, we think of something to do harm. Whether we translate it into action or not, we plot it. Envy. Many times we are envious, and sometimes that envy, we translate it into action by backbiting, causing harm to the good name of others. Isn't this true? In whatever we have done in relation to other people that cause them harm or hurt, be it physical or emotional, be it a member of the family or outside of the family circle, we did it to Jesus Christ. It is giving the cross again to Christ. And that is why, from this lesson, we ought always to be contrite and to humbly, the time we know that we are wrong, we should right away say sorry. There is a song that says, to say sorry seems to be the hardest word. We have to right away learn to say sorry and make up right away for something that we have done. when we do accusatory words, accusatory stories, or we hurt others' feelings, we have to be ready right away to say sorry and make amends for that. In the wrong we do is giving Christ another cross. Take that. The second, I would like us to learn from, the second lesson from the cross and encountering this cross, is the encounter of Simon of Cyrene with Jesus and with the cross of Christ. Simon of Cyrene, as we know in the narrative of the way of the cross, we can say that Simon of Cyrene didn't expect to encounter the cross of Christ. And in fact, at the very point, at that very moment, who would want to be associated with the one to be crucified? Even the apostles, the close friends, so to say, of Jesus Christ, abandoned the Lord. How much more for Simon of Cyrene? What could be his feeling during that time? But he was pushed to carry the cross by the Roman soldiers. And so this is what happened. He had the feeling of not wanting it. But in the end, he was grateful that he carried the cross with Christ. In the oral traditions, Simon of Cyrene became a believer and the whole of his household. Among the early Christians, they were a good family because of that encounter of the Father of the cross of Christ. There are times that we hated on something. Why did I have this kind of problem? I don't like this. But in the end, it turned out to be what we say, blessing in disguise. This is the lesson from Simon of Cyrene. There are many unexpected blessings that we have, that for a time we don't want it. But in the end, we are grateful we had it. Who would like to be disciplined? We don't want to be disciplined. We don't want to be told. But when we are disciplined, afterwards, we would say, thank God. I am not what I was before. I am who I am now because I have been disciplined. Or I have that kind of experience. And then I have changed. Blessings in disguise. We are to be grateful for everything that comes our way. This is the lesson. Sometimes good things come to us. We be grateful to that. But sometimes not so good things come to us. Let us also be grateful for that. Problems, difficulties, challenges, trials, for a time, it is not something, so to say, to be happy about. But if we truly trust in God's providence and in God's plans in our life, the problem we have will become a blessing later on. The suffering maybe we are having maybe can just be a set-up for something better in the end. We have to be grateful for everything that comes to our life. Moreover, in this lesson from the encounter of Simon of Cyrene to the cross of Christ, this also should be a lesson to us. Like him who just accepted, he has just to carry on and just kept his mouth shut. We have to learn that complaining Complaining and complaining will not do, will not help, will not help. Complaining, whining, lamenting before God will not help. It will make even the load heavier. If we are given cross and we keep on whining, the cross becomes heavier, even if it is just the right amount of cross given to us. I do not know if you have come across with a funny story that here comes a man who was given by the Lord a cross. And so he carried it for a time, and then he kept on complaining and said, Lord, this is too long as a cross and too heavy for me. Can I cut something out of it? The Lord said, okay, you say so. So he cut maybe 1 foot of it. So he carried on. Lord, it's still so long, it's still so heavy. Can I cut another something of it? Okay, it's up to you. You say so, because the Lord doesn't coerce our freedom. We have to decide. So, okay, you cut again. And so on and so forth. Now the Lord, remember, the Lord is always there, because the Lord says, come follow me. And so the Lord is carrying also the cross. His own cross. The person, the man there is carrying, was keep on whining, Lord, this is still long. Okay. And so they arrived at a cliff, and they had to cross to the other side. The Lord put his cross, and he crossed to the other side. The man, his cross already short, he cannot cross to the other side. Sometimes we are like that. To some extent, to seek comfort is good to some extent. To seek comfort is good to some extent. But let us discipline, as I've said at the beginning, discipline ourselves. Let us not seek too much comfort to the body that we forget the soul. Too much comfort to the body that we forget the soul. Quick to lament, quick to whine, quick to complain before God will not do good. But rather, a humble and obedient heart will bring us far in our journey. The third lesson. The encounter of the cross with the women of Jerusalem and of Veronica. In the narrative of the way of the cross, we are familiar with this. And in the scriptures, we said that Jesus, while carrying the cross, women of Jerusalem encountered the cross of Christ. They were weeping, they were crying. But there was also another woman who came and encountered and wiped the face of Jesus. What is this to us? The lesson is this. Like the women, the lesson from the women of Jerusalem is the sensitivity to other people's suffering, the sensitivity to other people in need of help, the sensitivity of each other, that we will truly care for each other. On the other hand, the sensitivity and to weep with those who weep may not be enough. And that is why the women of Jerusalem has this companion lesson. We have to do something about it. Veronica wiped the face of Jesus. A little consolation, a little doing something into the one who is suffering. Compassion is not only a feeling. compassion must be turned into action. Generosity is not only an idea. Generosity is an action word and must be truly acted upon. Many times, in the image of the cross, there are people indeed, for example, application, people who are criminals, okay. They deserve to be punished, okay. But our own faith teaches no more capital punishment. In our corporal acts of mercy, visit the prison. In the judgment of the master, what did he say? When I was in prison, you visited me. And this is sometimes here, very unique application. Yes, sometimes this person needs to go to prison, but we still have the heart of compassion. And that is why sometimes when there is something bad or something wrong happen to a person or something, what do we do? Do we advise or do we backbite? Do we find words of somehow saying, let us just pray for that person? But rather, what do? We not only backbite, but we make the story even worse. Especially if the person we know has hurt us. And especially if you don't like the priest, you talk more worse of it, rather than saying, let us pray for the priest. In our time and context, there is so much happening, so much going on in our church. The scandals happening, the bishops, whatever, the pope, whatever, priest, whatever. Have you ever come to mind, I will just pray for the church? Have it come to your mind? I pray for criminals, for conversion of sinners. Compassion is not only an idea, it has to be acted upon. To be a Veronica in our time is not only to wipe the face of Jesus, but also to do something with what is wrong happening in our time. We do not only watch people suffer, we have to do something about it. We do not only do something also, but we try to do the best we can in what we are doing. That is why we have ministries in our parish family. That is why we have groups and ministries in our parish, so that we can be helped and be inspired to truly do as a group the good action, the good work of the Lord in our midst, and do them the best we can. Every time you do something good to others, remember this. You are doing it to Jesus Christ. Number 4, the encounter of the Blessed Mother Mary with Jesus. Isn't it? The Blessed Mother Mary also encountered the cross of Christ. The point here is this. Mary saw her son and shared the suffering of her son. You are a mother, all of you who are mothers here. Think of this. You know your son is innocent. And you know your son is being condemned to a shameful, cruel death. And you cannot do something about it. This is what resignation to the will of God. You become a victim yourself. You offer yourself as a lamb of sacrifice. This is the Blessed Mother Mary. And the lesson we can learn from this is the love of God that wills compromise the will of God. I will rather compromise myself than compromise the will of God. That's the love of the Blessed Mother Mary to God. And that's why she can accept in totality, in completeness, complete the will of God and share the suffering of her Son. We have to love God above all things. We cannot choose our will over God's will. The lesson from the Blessed Mother Mary is this: I love you, Lord my God. I will what you will. This is the lesson from the Blessed Mother. We do not choose our crosses. We do not choose our problems. We do not choose our will. We choose God's will. And never compromise it. 5. The 5th lesson. The encounter. Now the encounter of Jesus and the cross with those who would immediately crucify him, the soldiers. They hammered the nail. These soldiers touched the cross of Christ. They touched also the crucified. What is the point of lesson we can learn? The lesson we can learn here is this: simple. When we commit sin, we will to sin. If there is sin committed, it is because it is willed. Otherwise, there is no sin if it is not willed. And that is why the encounter here of those who crucified Christ, the immediate, is also at the very point when we ourselves committing sin. Sin that we know, we are conscious of, and we know it is sinful, whether it is a grave, objectively grave act, or vineyard, less. But we know it is sinful, we still did it. In that case, we encountered the cross, like these soldiers who crucified Christ. In committing sin, especially mortal sin, we do not only cause harm to other people, we harm ourselves. And in harming ourselves, we offend God. And that is why we really always have to get away from it. We really have to be careful with our words and with our actions. This lesson should make us really think now, what are the sins that we commit? What are the sins that we repeatedly commit? We have to get out from that cycle and ask the Lord, give me the courage to get out of this cycle. The 6th lesson, the encounter of the cross of the 2 thieves crucified with Jesus. One at his right, one at his left. One of the thieves mocked Jesus. If you are the Son of God, then save us. But the other said, shut up. We deserve this, but he did not. And then he made this appeal to Jesus. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Today, you will be with me in paradise. This is the lesson that we can learn from this. The first lesson is from the criminal who mocked Jesus. To have a hardened heart is real. It is not just made up. To be adamant is real. in moral and spiritual life. And it can be dangerous. To be obstinate of heart is real. And that is why we have to really consider. Never be obstinate, never be hard-headed in relation to the teachings of the Lord, never be adamant in the good counsel, otherwise the opportunity of encountering salvation, we lost it. The first criminal lost his opportunity. His heart was closed to the Savior. The second lesson from the good thief, repentant criminal, with humble contrition, he begged the Lord salvation, and salvation was given him. The lesson is, when we are humble and contrite, it will go a long way for us, even reaching eternal life. Being humble and being contrite will go a long way for us. And that is why, whatever is bad in us, do not tolerate it. We have to change and cast it out. Whatever good that we want to do and keep pushing it away, now is the time, do it for the honor and glory of God. Whatever is good that you keep pushing away, you have to take it down and then do it, because that's what actually will bring you closer to Jesus Christ. Losing the opportunity of loving God is losing oneself as well. And God allowed heaven to be stolen by a humble, contrite thief. Every lesson, every opportunity that we have to encounter the cross of Christ, let us not escape from it, but rather, like Jesus, with honor and dignity, we carry it and finish the way, because in finishing it, we tell God, this is how I love you. Since you love me to the end, I can love you in return to the end. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
As was in the beginning,